Most men spend their whole life reacting. Something goes wrong, they panic. Someone insults them, they explode. Life gets hard, they quit. The Stoics knew a secret that modern men have forgotten. Mental toughness isn't something you're born with. It's built, brick by brick, habit by habit. 2,000 years ago, a Roman emperor, a former slave, and a shipwrecked merchant built a philosophy so powerful it turned ordinary men into unshakable ones. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire while battling plague and war, and never lost his composure. Epictetus was enslaved, beaten, crippled, and became one of the calmest men in history. Seneca faced exile and the constant threat of death, and taught generations how to stay unbroken. Today, you're going to learn the 10 habits they lived by. Habits that will make you harder to break, harder to offend, and harder to stop. Stay until the end. The 10th one is the one most men never learn until it's too late. Rule 1. Control what you can, release what you can't. Epictetus opened his entire philosophy with one idea. Some things are up to us, some things are not. Your opinions, your effort, your reactions, up to you. Other people's opinions, the weather, the past, not up to you. He wrote, "Men are disturbed not by things but by the views which they take of things." Most men waste their mental energy fighting things they cannot control. Traffic, other people's opinions, the economy. This drains you before the real battles even begin. Tonight, write down every worry from today. Cross out anything you cannot directly influence with your actions. What's left is where your energy belongs. Everything else, let it go. Master your reactions before they master you. Marcus Aurelius ruled the most powerful empire on earth. Yet he wrote to himself every night about controlling his temper. In his private journal, Meditations, never meant to be published, he reminded himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." The space between what happens to you and how you respond is where your entire character lives. React instantly and you are a slave to your impulses. Pause and you are the one in command. Practical action. Next time something angers you, count to 5 before speaking. Not to suppress the emotion, but to choose your response instead of letting the emotion choose it for you. Win the morning, win the day. The Stoics believed the first hour of your day sets the tone for everything that follows. Marcus Aurelius began every morning reminding himself that he would meet ungrateful, arrogant, and dishonest people, and that none of it would disturb his peace, because he had already prepared his mind. Most men wake up and immediately reach for their phone, flooding their mind with other people's opinions before they've formed their own. The Stoic wakes with intention. Practical action. For the next 7 days, don't touch your phone for the first 20 minutes after waking. Instead, ask yourself, what kind of man do I want to be today? Choose voluntary discomfort. Seneca, one of the richest men in Rome, would deliberately eat the poorest food and sleep on the hardest bed, not because he had to, but because he wanted to know that he could handle losing everything. He wrote to a friend that we should set aside a number of days content with the scantiest food, to ask ourselves, is this the condition that I feared? Comfort makes men fragile. The man who has never been uncomfortable breaks the moment life gets hard. The man who chooses discomfort on purpose becomes impossible to break by accident. Practical action. Pick one comfort this week and remove it voluntarily. A cold shower, skipping a meal, walking instead of driving. Prove to yourself that you can lose it and survive. Memento mori. Remember death. This wasn't morbid to the Stoics. It was liberating. Marcus Aurelius kept a servant whose only job, some accounts say, was to remind him of his mortality during moments of triumph, so pride would never consume him. When you truly understand that your time is limited, you stop wasting it on grudges, distractions, and cowardice. You start living like every day actually matters because it does. Practical action. Each night before bed, ask, if this were my last week alive, would I be proud of how I spent today? Let the answer guide tomorrow. Epictetus taught that the moment you crave the approval of others, you hand them the reins of your life. He said if you wish to improve, be content to appear foolish in matters that don't concern real virtue. Most men perform for an audience, dressing, speaking, and living for how others will perceive them. The Stoic lives by his own internal compass, indifferent to applause and indifferent to criticism. Practical action. This week, do one thing you believe is right even if it won't impress anyone watching. Notice how much lighter you feel when you stop performing. Seneca warned that it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. Endless desire is a trap. The more you get, the more you want, and peace never arrives. The Stoics didn't reject ambition. They rejected the addiction to more as the only measure of a good life. A man ruled by his cravings for money, status, pleasure, will never feel like he has enough, no matter how much he accumulates. Practical action. List 3 things you currently believe you need to be happy. Ask honestly, would a disciplined, grounded version of me still need these? Cut what doesn't survive the question. Marcus Aurelius wrote one of the most repeated Stoic lines in history: "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Every setback contains the material for growth, if you're willing to look for it. The Stoics didn't see obstacles as bad luck, they saw them as the training ground for character. A locked door forces you to find another path, and that path often leads somewhere better than the one you planned. Practical action. Think of your biggest current obstacle. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this forcing me to build in myself?" The Stoics treated the mind as sacred territory. Marcus Aurelius compared a disturbed mind to a fortress with its gates left open. Anyone can walk in and take control. What you consume, the people you surround yourself with, the content you watch, the conversations you entertain, shapes what you become. A man who lets negativity, gossip, and chaos freely enter his mind will eventually think, speak, and act like the noise around him. Practical action. Audit your inputs this week. Remove one source of negativity, a person, an app, a habit that has been quietly poisoning your mindset. This is the one most men learn too late. Seneca wrote that while we wait for life to begin, life passes by. Men delay becoming who they want to be, waiting for more money, more confidence, more time, and one day they look back and realize the waiting was the life they were supposed to be living. Marcus Aurelius didn't wait for the perfect empire to rule with virtue. Epictetus didn't wait for freedom to master his mind. He built that mastery while still enslaved. The Stoics understood that strength isn't granted by circumstance. It's built starting now, exactly where you stand, with exactly what you have. There will never be a perfect moment. There will only be this one. Practical action. Pick the one thing you've been waiting for the right time to start. Do the smallest possible version of it today. Not tomorrow, not Monday, today. 10 habits, 2,000 years old. Still the difference between the man who breaks and the man who doesn't. You won't master all 10 overnight. Pick one. Practice it until it becomes who you are. Then pick the next. The Stoics didn't become unshakable by accident. They built it day by day, choice by choice. So can you. If this gave you something to think about, subscribe. There's a new one of these every week. And tell me in the comments, which of these 10 do you need to work on the most?